Allah existed and there was nothing else but Him.
Now, Melamed is a path that has remained veiled until today and is impossible to treat without a master.
Who am I? Where did I come from? Where am I going? What's the purpose of life? Where are heaven and hell? Who is God? Where is God? All these questions.
Denial. At this point, the true intention of the seeker is very important.
It is one, and it was always one, and it will always be one. Hi, welcome to our channel. First, I would like to start with sending our love and respect to our beloved master, Pir Said Mustafa Altun from here. And in this video, as his students, we will try to explain what is the Melamed path. Even if you're not aware, everyone in this world is seeking for something. And even if they are aware, they're not finding the right path to find themselves, to meet their creators, and to understand why are we living in here and what we are doing in here. In this current time we are living in, it may seem like there are many religions to believe, there are many gods to worship, or there are many ways to live, to adore for us. But the truth is, the way of the Creator is one. It's not two, it's not five, it's not 50. It is one, and it was always one, and it will always be one. And the way of Creator will not change itself related to our egos or our desires to live in this world. So we have to find the right one, and we have to worship to the right one. As you can see, we are 5 people here from different generations, but with only one belief and only one way of living. We are here with Miss Leyla, Mr. Gürcan, Miss Müge, and Mr. Baran. So, I would like to start with Miss Leyla, and I would like to ask, we have a really chaotic time right now, and people are searching, but they're not able to find what they're looking for. Can you please talk about this chaos with us, please?
Okay, thank you very much. Now, the current chaos engulfing the entire world is a chaotic situation where values are lost. People have forgotten who they are. The guidance of religions is blocked, and the truth of knowledge is completely unknown. We are in such era where we have to produce solutions beyond simply identifying the situation. However, in this context, there are not only charlatans spreading hearsay information, but also countless paths promising salvation to people, urging them to focus on themselves. Humanity in its weariness and depressive state amidst this chaotic situation eagerly follows every trend it believes could offer a solution. Lines from outside the doors of psychologists and consumption of medicines for depression and psychological disorders increases daily. Alternatively, some individuals, by rejecting everything, create a free and personal space for themselves in the realm of disbelief, such as deism or atheism.
So, you're saying that there are many empty promises. They're using actually the Creator's path to sometimes fool people. On the other hand, when people feel depressed or stressed, they are trying to find the solution on medicine, or they're looking for doctors to solve the problem, but the problems is coming from inside, and they're looking the solution from outside, as I understand.
Yes, of course. Now I want to read the passage, the excerpt from preface of the first issue of The Path of Melamed magazine. In the last 500 years, when materialism and personal egos have been at the forefront, people have moved away from their origins of truths. All religious teachings have been corrupted with an increasing momentum in this order. Unfortunately, the situation has almost driven even sane people who want to know themselves and question where they come from, who they really are, and why they were created, is leading people into depression, which is still continuing today. At this point, when the religious dimension of truth remains covered and only the dimension of formal worship rituals appears. The development of knowledge in science in the ego-centered Western civilization is being explained through quantum levels, such as life coaching and karma, etc. You know. And although these teachings temporarily satisfy their followers, when time passes, they could not go beyond dragging people into depression. This is our Melamed Pet magazine.
So, as I mentioned before, they're fooling people. There are so many ways, there are so many people who are using their beliefs and they're just misleading people. So, people have to look for and find the truth. So, that's why we're trying to explain what is the Melamed path is. So, could you please explain us what is Melamed?
Oh, okay. I'm going to try to explain. Now, Melamed is a path that has remained veiled until today and is impossible to treat without a master. Due to the increasing turmoil and disruption of balances in this era, Melamed is inviting humanity towards the path of unity and self-annihilation by unveiling its secrets. Now, it's a path equipped with one wing dedicated to the love of God and the other to the limitless and infinitive divine knowledge of God. By taking the breath from a perfect master, divine master, perfect human being, you say, this path leads towards the truth, being the only path that calls towards it. This path is about self-awareness, knowing ourselves, knowing one's Lord God. In other words, the journey to unity with Allah. Although it's not a path taken to fix our psychology once the journey to Allah begins. Spiritual turmoil dissipates, and as one learns the knowledge of truth, they become one with it through both understanding and becoming. In other words, people start on this path immature, and through the guidance and teachings of the Master, they mature with patience and become inflamed with the love of Allah, witnessing the transformation of their presumed existence into reality. They unite with their essence.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
As we understand, as you mentioned, people actually start this way in an immature position. But people are not accepting that they need to learn something and they need to try to seek for something to find their inner peace.
Yes.
That's why they're not looking for the right way, and that's why they're still trying to find other solutions, because people don't know that the spiritual fulfillment is coming from the way of their creators. I would like to ask Mr. Gürcan to you, what is this spiritual fulfillment and why people are struggling to know and understand how to find it?
Thank you. Today's global system, fueled by materialistic approaches, is trying to steer people towards certain goals and purposes. People are drifting away from their roots, influenced by media, politicians, religious figures, self-proclaimed proponents of various belief systems. and economists working hand in hand. As a result, those who cannot find spiritual satisfaction manifest it outwardly through violence, discord, psychological disorders, and other ailments, which, as known, further nourish the materialistic system. The world is unjustly and cruelly oppressed and directed with various exploitation and abuse mechanisms that change and renew themselves every day. It's now known that individuals whose inner world is balanced and who have achieved spiritual fulfillment lead a higher quality, healthier, and more serene life, can cope with their problems more easily. At this point, the need to reach the truth becomes apparent. Who am I? Where did I come from? Where am I going? What's the purpose of life? Where are heaven and hell? Who is God? Where is God? All these questions line up in our minds in search of answers. In all religious teachings and systems, saints and masters are mentioned. How have these saints become saints, and do saints exist in the present day? Can we become saints? How can we obtain the knowledge that leads to salvation in life from these masters? What needs to be done?
So you mentioned many questions and many unanswered questions, because when people think about God, there are some things that appear automatically, like where is heaven? Where is hell?
Mm-hmm.
Where am I coming from is a rare question, but where are we going to go is a common question. But they're all unanswered questions.
Of course.
But we know that there were many saints that they became saints. So there should be an answer. Where should people look for the answer?
People will find the answer within themselves, but first they need to learn how to look at themselves. Melamed introduced the individual to themselves. It is the shortest path to reach God. However, as with any teaching, a teacher is necessary. This teacher will explain to you what the meaning of your two eyes is, what your two ears are for, why you took that step, who you are, what's everything you see outside. Without a teacher, every answer given will be a fabrication of our own making. I want to read the words of Mustafa Altun written in second issue of the Path of Melamed magazine. Everything inside you is both open and hidden is me. Don't believe that it is yours. I gave you the temporary of life. I also gave eyes, ear, mind, heart, and soul to see. These are temporary to you. The secret of the meaning of those who mentioned this name is in you. Read and understand yourself. Who are you now? The question has arrived. Find yourself and your inside. Search, find, and be. My advice for humanity is to search and learn more about the path of Melamed. We invite those who want to know the main purpose of creation, those who want to understand what the reality of self-knowledge is, to find the source of that feeling that comes from your heart, soul, maybe your inner self, and the source of inspiration. We call upon you to discover yourself, your essence, your presence, and to reach God by embarking on the path of maturation and becoming real human beings. We are trying to show the way to reaching the truth by finding the perfect human, means insanı kamil.
Well, thank you. And Mr. Gürcan mentioned discovering ourselves, discovering our essence. What does essence mean? What does our presence mean? Who are we? Who is our creator? There are many questions, but to learn the answers, we need a teacher. As in every knowledge in this world, we need someone who knows this knowledge, who knows himself, and who knows the God. We should find him and we should devote ourselves to him to learn ourselves and God, as I understand, right?
Yes, of course.
I would like to ask Miss Müge. As I mentioned before, there are many ways, there are many beliefs, there are many religions, and there are many people that claim that they are masters, they are perfect masters, they are perfect human beings. But we know that there's only one in this world. So how we're going to understand the difference between the fake one and the real one?
Throughout the world, people who prioritize their material interests or self-interests exploit people who will try to satisfy their spiritual hunger. Nowadays, having a life coach, searching quantum or other religious beliefs are very popular because they are all have a common point, which is they are all came from the truth. However, almost all of those teachers do not discover the truth. They just overheard what they have learned so far. That's why there are gaps, and they will fill these gaps with their self-interests or their opinions and ideas. If a seeker realizes and understands these gaps, he will stop searching or go into denial. At this point, the true intention of the seeker is very important. If a seeker is really seeking, he will reach melamet by his inner desire. Melami masters discover the truth and reach the truth, reach God. This is the key point. There are a lot of differences with melamet and other teachings, and if a seeker compares his past experiences with melamet, he can clearly see many differences. I would like to share three of them, which I think is very important. First of all, melami masters do not form a direct bond with the seeker. They direct the seeker to God. What I mean is, they do not create a direct bond with the seeker and themselves. They help the seeker to create a bond with God. They do not put themselves in the middle of it. The second point is, melami masters follow and watch the progress of the seeker. They do not just give random directions to seeker and stop watch him. And the third point is, they do not make irrational suggestions to the seeker. They do not create an illusion for them. They give solid and real evidences. They want to see us to see God. In short, melami masters hold the hand of the seeker and follow the progress of the seeker. Since the day we are born, our parents or loved ones watches our progress, and they try to protect us from the world because they know that how hard, how crucial this world can be. And when the time passes, our teachers or professors do the same thing for us because they also know that how hard and challenging to reach our goal. Melami masters, and especially the perfect human, does the same thing for us. Since he reached God, they know how hard it can be, and we need guidance. He gives us directions and helps us to follow those directions. It's very important. And this is the key point between a melami master and other teachers like life coaches. I want to read a passage from the book called Real Life, written by Pir Said Mustafa Altun. There is no being beyond or beyond his presence. It only depends on one core for all trees or sprout from one seed. Although the seed is one, we can see that in all the trees and in their stages of development. The fruits also vary. There are some bitter, some sweet, some are sour. It turns out that although there is water and a seed is diversity in all of them. Allah the Almighty is a seed in terms of his essence. However, since Allah is incorporeal, he does not appear without covering himself with his creations. If you pay attention, the apparent is the clothes of images. We cannot see what is inside. Everything we look at is in the apparent world and is visible. With the image of these visible aspects, we see that examples, predictions, corporations, dreams exist by images. Everything we see as an image is like a tree with veins. And all the qualities seen in that tree, the appearance of man, have the same characteristics as that tree. What we see other than Allah is an illusion. The truth is, the one who plays, moves, and has power behind the curtain with the image of imagination is the essence. He is the essence in all creation. Without him, nothing exists.
Well, it was a great passage, actually. You said that in the passage, rather than Allah, everything is an illusion.
Yes, correct.
We have to know that everything is an illusion. Sometimes people are saying this on social media that we're living in an illusion, but they're just assuming. They don't know that this might be correct, and there's a teacher who can teach us. Well, it's interesting, and also that caught my attention. A real master is bounding the devotee not to himself, but directly to Allah.
Yes.
It's interesting because when we look outside, we're always seeing that there's a master, and people are just doing everything to make him happy. But in Melamet, the devotion is to Allah. But we always need a master, perfect human. Okay, thank you so much. And I would like to turn to Baran. Baran, I would like to ask to you, we talked about many things, many distractions while looking for the truth. And since we're living in a very chaotic time, as a young man, how would you describe this chaotic time? This looking for the truth is just very complicated. What do you think about this?
First of all, it would be nice to contemplate what religion and how one can reach God. The source of many of the problems and the complexities that humanity has experienced in the past and continues to experience today lies in the diversity and divisions surrounding religion. However, despite social differences, one of the few topics that encompasses all people on earth is morality. All religious teachings encompass these moral principles, so from this perspective, religion is a beautiful morality. Today, a broad spectrum of people, including some I know, can be quite resistant when the topic of religion is brought up. Atheism and deism, especially among the youth, are quite prevalent. There is also a constant conflict among believers of different religions. But why is that so? The issue of religion has become increasingly distant because it has been exploited by those who have used it as a means of controlling people. The common messages and values of belief systems are being undermined, and it seems as the idea is being imposed by that religion should be kept away from societies, especially. In contrast to religion, concepts such as quantum physics, energy studies, and life coaching are gaining popularity, and transhumanism, artificial intelligent robots, and chips are being promoted, which distance humanity from universal values, its creator and divine values. creating societies that are faithless, disconnected, loveless, and directionless. Because the people using these disciplines in promise to change people's lives lack permanent solutions. Every effect that has the illusion of a peaceful life fades eventually. So people who seek change stay ignorant, they do not know themselves or their creator, and therefore they prioritize many other things as distraction and spend their lives with them. By wasting time on imitative worship rituals and pretending to be human, they bestow upon themselves the title of humanity. However, they have nothing to do with being human. Allah existed and there was nothing else but Him. This is the explanation of the truth in a single sentence. Yet humanity continues to live in ignorance of this. The truth cannot be found through philosophy, quantum physics, astrology, or modern energy teachings. A person cannot find themselves in external knowledge. They merely occupy themselves with it. So the question is, where should one search for themselves? The answer is in themselves. The biggest reason people have drifted away from Allah today is their belief in unseen Allah, positioning Him in the heavens and the earth, and worshipping the unseen Allah with the imitative and rote knowledge. People have searched for what is close to them far away, turning to imitative knowledge. In this path of recognizing their Lord, one cannot go without knowledge. You must find the owner of this truth. The path of Melanism is the shortest path to directly reach one's Lord. It works by someone reading their own book and discovering their self through self-exploration, taking knowledge from the source. It does not rely on hearsay information, nor does it waste time in the realm of imagination. Its greatest miracle is knowledge. Each of us has taken many idols and is living in a realm of illusions and sleep. However, the truth is one and beautiful. There is no need for anything else. He is sufficient for everything.
Well, the last word was incredible.
Yes, incredible.
He is sufficient for everything. Well, in conclusion, people are searching, but they don't know what they are searching. People have their ways, but they're not feeling okay with their ways. So they need to find the true one. They need to find the truth, and they need to give their energy. They need to focus their minds to the real one. That's why we're doing this video in English in a Turkish channel. We tried to explain what the Melamed path is in a very simple way. And we all tried to explain our perspectives, and we all tried to talk about the knowledge we learned from our master. And also, if you're interested in religion, finding yourself, knowing your God, knowing everything about this world and beyond, we're suggesting you that our social media accounts, we're suggesting you our master's books. There are 2 English books written by Pir Said Mustafa Altun. And also, we have our magazines published in every 6 months, also in English. And I will again suggest you to follow our English social media accounts. And lastly, as you can see, our channel's name is Kendini Tanı in Turkish, which means know thyself in English. So we are inviting you to know thyself. Thank you for watching us.